How could his wife make such a suggestion? Betty then fulfills her promise to provide the superfan. We witness a youthful Hank extending a handshake to Co-op. He's still in shock at his wife's suggestion that they launch a nuclear conflict. Moldaver informs Lucy that Hank has kept a lot of secrets from her in the present. As the Brotherhood is ready to raid the Griffith Observatory, Maximus expresses gratitude to Dane for sparing his life. He tells them he met someone and that he intends to meet up with her at Moldaver's main office. Moreover, Maximus reveals his intention to move inside Vault 33 with Lucy. Dane finds Maximus's excitement admirable, but no one ever quits the Brotherhood of Steel. Then, aboard their vertibirds, the Brotherhood departs to take the target. Shady Sands is the sign that civilization has returned to the surface, as Moldaver recounts that Lucy's mother, Rose, was able to deduce. Rose knew Hank was lying to her when he informed her that her concept was stupid. With Lucy and Norm in tow, she made her way to the surface. Regretfully, Hank found them, abducted Lucy and Norm, and destroyed Shady Sands with fire. Lucy remembers being at Shady Sands with her mother. There, she met a younger Moldaver. She therefore felt the sun at that time. Lucy is informed by Moldaver that she brought the previous cold fusion. As you may remember, Cooper was informed by the Moldaver some 200 years ago that she had created cold fusion technology, but Vault-Tec acquired it. According to Moldaver, having an endless supply of energy will transform people's lives. It could bring mankind back to its former state. Hank strongly advises Lucy not to trust Moldaver. Now, Moldaver's cold fusion technology was deemed exclusive when Vault-Tec acquired it. A reliable Vault-Tec employee is the only one who can turn on the cold fusion. She must have Hank's code. Before Lucy realizes what has happened to her mother, she asks. Gazing at the ghoul seated at the table, she looks. The jewelry around its neck is recognizable to Lucy. Rose McClane is that. Lucy begs her father to give Moldaver the code while crying. Hank raises the white flag after a few entreaties. He makes a code punch. The activation process begins abruptly. In the meantime, Norm is shocked by what he discovered about his father. Hank and Betty are on a list of reactivated helpers that he sees. Bud stops him from leaving when he attempts to. Hank then tells Lucy his part. He maintains his integrity and says that what he did was necessary to protect mankind. All Rose did was obstruct that. It is evident that the cold fusion is fully prepared. However, the Brotherhood shows up just as Moldaver is ready to put it to the test. Dane, Maximus, and the others storm the New California Republic headquarters while Moldaver goes to ground with her warriors. The battle is extremely violent as Moldaver's foot troops are defeated by the Brotherhood Knights. After her father finishes explaining his behavior, Lucy stands in complete disbelief. He destroyed a whole civilization and sentenced her mother to live as a ghoul. That isn't hip. Maximus encounters the ghoul along with a few other Brotherhood members as he heads for Lucy. Before the nuclear war, the ghoul admits he was a soldier in the military and wore the power armor. It was flawed in design. Ghoul fires at a single knight to check if the defect is still there. It is, in fact. The knight passes away. Lucy is still being convinced by Hank to let herself into his cage. A knight staggers into the room and collapses. Maximus comes out from behind the dead soldier. He meets Lucy again. Declaring himself to be her father, Hank asks Maximus if he may open the cage. Maximus acts without hesitation. Hank takes control of the fallen knight's power armor as they are conversing. He informs Lucy that she will accompany him. Maximus lashes out at Hank, furious. Regretfully, Hank uses the power armor to strike Maximus so forcefully that he promptly passes out. Lucy attempts, but is unable, to wake him. Lucy pulls a revolver and points it at her father. Until she shoots at him, he doesn't think she'll injure him. He takes a gunshot to the cheek. The ghoul calls out to Hank as it appears out of the darkness. He remembers Hank as a superfan back in the day, when he was much younger. Hank is naturally horrified to discover that Cooper Howard is a ghoul. The ghoul demands to know where Hank's family is as he aims his weapon at him. Hank remains silent. The ghoul lets Hank go rather than firing the trigger. While the ghoul rants about how there's always someone pulling the strings, even when everything seems to be falling apart, Lucy makes fruitless attempts to rouse Maximus. He discloses that over 200 years ago, large suits in a boardroom chose Lucy's whole existence, including his wife. Hank is moving in the direction of the boss. If Lucy would like to accompany them, the ghoul will allow her to do so. Lucy gives Maximus a kiss and says she will see him again. She then takes a gun to the head of her ghoul mother and leaves the observatory with her erstwhile prisoner. Maximus awakens later. He yells for Lucy. Moldava staggers into the room, holding onto her side. She is hurt. Cold fusion is activated by Moldava. Lights appear everywhere in the metropolis of Los Angeles. Moldava sits next to Ghoul Rose and clutches her hand even though she is dead. "We succeeded, Rose," she murmurs. Moldava observes the lights and then dies quietly. Dane and the other men from the Brotherhood then locate Maximus. Dane believes Moldava was slain by Maximus. The others, including Dane, cheered for Maximus the Knight. Maximus makes vain attempts to clarify that he did not kill Moldava. In the meantime, Lucy, the ghoul, and CX-404 head for the top one in search of some desperately needed clarifications. Hank arrives to what appears to be New Vegas at the same time. This is the beginning of the end.